A lot of times we hear things about the anime industry that are half truths or based upon a truth, but then they're extremely exaggerated. Like one of the examples I can give you is about Animator Pay. Now, why is this? Mainly, it's because we love playing telephone. The message starts in between animators make very little money. Then it eventually evolves into something completely different, but it still has the core concept of animators make little money. But then you add a lot of things, like now it's all animators make dirt and can barely live with what they're paid with. Intentional or not, this is something that I feel the need to correct for the sake of factual accuracy within the community I so love. First thing we need to establish is the difference in animator types. So you have key animators, effects artists, and background animators or background artists. And also, depending on the production type, you also have some 3D artists or animators. We don't really talk about the job of the in-between animators, basically because they don't do too much that is of notice, but their work is still very important to the anime. Their job title is very self-explanatory. They make the frames from one key animation to another. So depending on how the key frame is handled, it can be anywhere from animating 3 frames to interpolating entire character motions from one position to another. Now, these people are usually freelancers or part-time. That alone should explain why their pay is so low. On top of that, they usually are paid on a per frame basis. They need to stay competitive in price with the studios all over Asia that set very low prices for the same work that these in-between animators do. Now, do I oppose of this? Do I dislike this practice? Well, I dislike this practice, but I see it as a necessary evil within the current model of Japanese animation. Mainly because the current model is to make animation or to make anime, as economically as possible. As studios already at the knife's edge when it comes to budgeting their shows. Now, what about the guys like Sushio or Yo Yoshinari? What do they make? Both these guys are key animators, at least. That's what I understand their job is. Well, although Sushio is also a character designer. On average, according to a survey, these key animators make 2.8 million yen a year, or 23,513 greenback. So divided by 12, that's around 233,000 yen per month, which is below the average pay in Tokyo of 300,010. The gap is considerable, and the gap being 88,000 yen or $782. Now you have to remember that these are all averages and that your favorite animator, especially if they've been working in the industry for such a long time, make a lot more than this. Okay, so let's put the 23,000 yen per month into perspective. So what's the cost of living in Tokyo? All that money needs to be funding something, right? Now, I saw numbers, and according to the site I was looking at, it would cost 300,000. Now, something wasn't right. That number I've been seeing would suggest that it would eat up pretty much everything that our animators make and put them in debt. So, I had to find out what wasn't right. All those people that were telling me that my favorite animators are living in dumps were right. Of course not. The 300,000 yen estimate, again, was an average. And on top of that, it was an estimate for an apartment in the city center with 3 bedrooms. A very luxurious apartment indeed. But our animator is probably single and doesn't have a family. So in all reality, he'd probably be renting a 1-bedroom apartment, which would cost him around 79,000 yen for an apartment outside the city. Now, if you would like to get an apartment inside the city center, that would be around 130,000 yen. And seeing as Japan's public transport system is one of the best in the world, I'd imagine people taking the apartments outside the city don't mind the commute. So let's say our hypothetical animator were to take the 1-bedroom apartment inside the city center. With the average monthly pay, he'd still have 99,000 yen. But I'd like to remind you, dear viewer, that this is an average and you can find apartments for 94,000 yen, giving our animator even more money after rent in comparison to the 130,000 that we initially said. Now, of course, our little animator, actually, let's name him. I hate just calling him the animator. Let's name him Sachi. Now, Sachi wants internet to play League of Legends with Tuntun. How much would he have to pay for that? Well, using the same price aggregator website, he would be paying around 3,000 yen for a 10 megabyte line with unlimited data, or he can be retarded and pay 5,000 yen for the same connection. Same goes for beer. On the low end, he can pay 250 yen, and on the high end, 500 yen. Oh no, now Sachi made his waifu pillow pregnant, and he has to send his child to school while he goes to work animating kids going to school. How much would that cost? On average, it would cost 122,000 yen for a private kindergarten. But again, averages, on top of that, you can find a public kindergarten, which I'm pretty sure would be free. I think you got my point now. You can live with the pay if you're smart about your money and shop around for the best prices, just like any other place. Now let's look at their work hours, because why not? We're already prying into their monthly salary. Let's look into how long they work. 31% of them work around 8 to 10 hours, which is the average work hour for, I'm pretty sure, everyone. And 32% said they work around 10 to 12 hours a day, and 6.3% say they work 14 to 16 hours a day, and 2.6% said they work 16 hours or more. But when asked, 65% of the respondents said they liked the job, and 60.9% also said that they do it to earn money. No surprises here. It's a capitalist system. In closing, animators do what they love, and that's the main reason why they stay doing their job. I have to acknowledge something. New animators do have a hard time going into the animation industry, and I do understand their struggles. Like college alone, I believe. I've seen this. I think it was the Tokyo Animation College. Their yearly tuition fee is around a million yen. Okay, it's no small feat to pay that yearly, and I believe it's a 3-year course. So by the time you're finished with that, you're paying, I assume you're getting a student loan, so you're in debt with, 3 million yen? And then you're probably not going to be getting the key animation job immediately. You're probably going to be working up through the ladder of animators. But if, I don't know, if you work hard enough on it, I'm pretty sure you'll reach the key animator stage of your career. Like anyone, in all honesty, if you work hard enough for it, you'll eventually get it.
Semi-zero gravity, the NEAT.